great topics today. I hope everybody's having a blessed one. Chill, relax, calm, feet up, Staying blessed, staying vigilant, militant, humble, righteous, loving, caring. You know what I'm saying? And then just being appreciative of life, having another opportunity to really get it right. Today is a beautiful topic. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful discussion. Part of my background, you know what I'm saying? Wilderness ready, preparing us for that wilderness. You gotta get there mentally first. But yeah, on today's episode of Sabbath Talk, something that I wanted to break down to my people, give y'all a better understanding, or if you do understand, give you in-depth information about the things that is taking place in this world. So today's topic, I had to write it down. It's called The Puzzles of the World and the Elite Tools that are used to keep us confused. See, a lot of times, brothers and sisters don't even understand that this game that we playing, everything that we've been seeing from the time we was young, it was literally an infrastructure of a subconscious tool to keep us confused. When you see games like Monopoly, when you see things like Tetris, when you see things like chess, all of these things was created to keep us confused. And one of the main things that they did when we came to America was to make sure, and this is biblical, you know what I'm saying? You could read this in Psalms 83. It says to make sure that the remembrance of Israel would never be no more. Exactly. That the memories of children would never be no more. So this is something that I wanted to touch on. The first tool that was used against us was this false religion. Now, brothers and sisters, is meaning, how can you say false religion when you are a man that's standing on the quote-unquote religion of whatever you want to call it, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Christ, believer of Christ, whatever you guys want to believe. But when I say the word religion and doctrine that was teach based off man's understanding and not of the Most High. You understand what I'm saying to y'all? Brothers and sisters gotta understand, one of the things that they did to us as a people was reteach us our customs. They took that away from us. A lot of y'all don't understand. They made it a law that if we even tried to keep that, we would have been martyred. We would have been killed. Yes, when they came into Africa, or whatever you want to call it, they came with a whole new infrastructure. Yes. A lot of people say there was a saying that people came, when they came into Africa, they came with two things, wine and a Bible. But what they're not telling you is the Bible that they came with was a restructured Bible. It wasn't the Bible that was already written by Moses and XYZ. They had to interject certain things, certain names. So when they came to us, they came to us prepared with a book that was gonna keep us in a state of confusion, because Satan knows the Bible better than us. He knows that in those times, meaning the time that we in right now, the time of information, the time of the Great Awakening, that a lot of us will be seeking. And then when we seek and we realize that it's lies, a lot of us will just denounce believing in God altogether. This is part of the plan. This was a puzzle. This was a, let me throw this out there. Let me confuse them with X, Y, and Z. So a lot of times, brothers and sisters don't understand that religion was one of the main things that they had to implement upon us prior to taking us captive, prior to setting us free. They had to have the religious control. They had to redoctrinate our minds spiritually, because they know, and for those that don't know, it's a spiritual war. It gets spiritual before it gets physical. You understand what I'm saying? So I gotta take control of your spirit. Because once I take control of your spirit, it's easy to control your flesh. Your flesh is like your cell phone. If your cell phone doesn't have a battery, or it's, you know what I'm saying, it's on 2%, it don't have all the strength that it needs, it's a cheap phone. You can do whatever you want with it. You can toss it to and fro, left, right, up, down. And that's what they did with us. So the false religion. So a lot of y'all know about the Nat Turner situation. The false religion was interjecting their names within our scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Even in the Bible, it tells you that in the book of Maccabees that they would erase our things and put themselves for their liking, for us to be, you know what I'm saying, to fall in line to that. You understand what I'm saying to you? So religion was a main thing. Teaching us that Christ was a quote-unquote white person was an ordeal to them. It was big for them. They had to teach us that. They had to have us consumed and believe that. So religion played a big part on the part of the puzzles that we see going on right now. The puzzle, and when y'all ask, what you mean by the puzzle? The puzzle is, if I give you this false information and you eat it for a long period of time, by the time you realize that it was a lie and you start seeing that things wasn't making sense, you're going to denounce it whatsoever. So now that you don't have faith in the Most High, you don't believe in God, yes, your vessel, your temple is for grabs. It's up for grabs. And who you think is going to grab it? It's going to be the adversary. And what you think he's going to make you do? Everything that you see going on in our community right now. A lot of brothers and sisters is not waking up, praying, going to church. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're going to church on Sundays, you know what I'm saying? Even though you're not supposed to. But at least that was like an avenue for you to, you know, subconsciously build your spirit up. We are not in a state where nobody's not doing that. Everybody's in the crib all day. Phone, TV, etc. all day. You know what I'm saying? There's not even a balance no more. You understand? So that was one of the tools that was used. So when we came here on this land, there was rules and regulations that they forced us to follow. You understand? They knew that we was Israel, but yet they put these things in place for us to follow. And the minute that they allow us to just freely read the Bible and freely understand it, Nat Turner came out of that. So their main objective now was like, okay, see, we can't even give them a little bit. So we have to restructure and reteach them the true understanding of the Bible. That's why in order for you to be a pastor or a priest, you got to go to theologian school. That's not me saying this. This is a fact. You could go on YouTube. You can look it up. Go on Google. If you want to be a pastor, a licensed pastor or a priest, you have to go to theologian school. There's no ifs, buts, and maybes. You understand what I'm saying? So that's one. The next thing that they had to do was to destroy the family structure. And like I said again, even through slavery, like people don't understand, like, these individuals are strategic in their control. They're strategic in their plan. They don't just jump out and say, this is what we're doing. You know, the Bible says Esau is a cunning hunter. They are very strategic on the things that they are going to do. And what they did was they had to restructure the household. A lot of y'all try to figure out, like, what you mean by that? Listen, when you pay attention into civilization today, the majority of the breadwinners in the household is the woman. They had to restructure. They had to make the woman the head of the household and let the man be the weakling of the household. This is just what it is. This was a planned design. And if you pay attention, these things only affect the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Other nations, the Chinese, the Arabs, and even these Caucasians, a lot of them, the breadwinners or the males or the male dominant, they getting the money, and they ladies is going shopping, and they getting all cute and dandy, pretty, you know what I'm saying, got the designer wear. And some of them, and listen, and even the females that's in that bracket of high income, they're not dealing with no man that's in a lower income than them. It has to be neutral, or you have to be higher. You understand? This is a fact. So you get that, excuse me, fix this mic. You get that, and you put brothers and sisters in this type of situation. And I'm talking about as far as like a man standpoint, because a man that's first of all, we just upset that we can't be men the way that we supposed to be men. There's always a certain obstacle that we as men has to always overcome to get to where we at. But now you put a situation where the woman has to be that manly role. And a lot of times, a lot of us men, especially here in captivity in today's times, we don't have no traits. We don't have no skills. We don't have no tools. We don't know how to farm. We don't know how to garden. We don't know how to do. A lot of people don't even know how to put on a tie. I'm not trying to be mean, but that's just what it is. We can't even put on ties. You understand what I'm saying to you? So you just imagine having a restructure of the household where now it's the man that got to nurture and take care of the children because he can't get no job, and the least he can do is stay in the house and watch the children while the wife goes out and get the, you know what I'm saying, she gets the bread. She's the breadwinner. She's the bag. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us men in today's time, because of this been going on for so long, we have become acceptance to this. And a lot of time when women, especially women of color, run into a man of color, and this man is an alpha male, he's not someone that's just gonna allow, like, no, baby girl, we're not doing that. I make my own bread. Sometimes that's overwhelming for a woman, because a lot of females come into relationships knowing that in her last relationship she had to provide, she had to take care. And when you enter a new one with that difference in power structure, you understand, and it's in the order of the Most High, a lot of times it's overwhelming for a woman. You understand? So family structure was very, very important. The next thing falls right in line with this family structure. When you see that these women or these men feel like they unable to provide and take care of their family, they do what we were told to do: run away. So we leave these women single to raise these children. These children are being raised without a male figure in the house, creates an imbalance. And a lot of times this imbalance have a child, and especially a male, pick up female tendencies, extra emotional. You understand? Things that don't even sit right, don't make sense, they're complaining about. Hence what you see today, where words can get you killed. Saying the wrong thing to somebody can get you killed, can get you jumped, can get you hurt, can get you beat up. These are the things that's going on. Is because of the high count of single parents in the household. You understand? And it's at an all-time high. And we don't understand that this was a strategic move. This is part of the puzzle that they was creating to keep us in a state of confusion. So a lot of these women now are raising these children single-handedly. A lot of males raising their children single-handedly. And these women have to revert to what? Assistance. They have to revert to getting public assistance. And what a lot of people don't understand is public assistance is literally a gateway. It's a door to allow you to be lazy and not have to do nothing. Because you know every month, the first day of the month, you're going to get a check. You're going to get a bag where you're going to be able to sustain yourself, pay your rent, dress fly, do whatever, and don't have to do absolutely nothing. This is true. You understand? This is all part of the demise. This is a puzzle that's being taken place, but we as people don't pay attention to that. So you get these single parents, we get these children who are being raised by these single parents, and when these children get of age and they got to go outside and interact with the world, their interactions and how they cope with things is going to be female tendencies. We as men, we see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? It was upon a time when I was feeling like that. You understand? You know, the scripture says you are who you hang with. You know what I'm saying? If you hang around with killers, you're gonna be a killer. If you hang around women, you're gonna pick up women tendencies. Whether it's your mother, hang around your father, that's just what it's gonna be. So that was one of the main puzzles that was put into place that is literally destroying our people right now as we speak. You understand? Men is just being afraid. Women just not wanting to deal with certain men because of whatever, whether it's the financial situation, whether it's just mental disagreements. I don't agree with what you're saying and what you do. I'm just gonna go do my own thing. You understand? I'm just gonna go do my own thing. Hold on, let me grab the mic. You understand? I'm just gonna go do my own thing. I ain't gonna sit around and be scared and allow you to just disrespect me. I might as well be by myself. And a lot of women pick up on that tendencies because they know they're gonna get public assistance. You understand? And then which falls into other things as well, which creates what? Child support. So now we got this new rule and implementation of child support where you could put somebody on child support. Oh, you don't want to take care of your child? Fine, no problem. Now I'm gonna get the man involved. So now we got child support. That's doing what? That's messing up the brother man's life. You know, and if you owe child support, you can't travel. You can't even leave the state if you own child support. If you own child support, you can't even apply for certain jobs. You can't even get a loan. Look how the puzzle is working. It's all in design to keep the black man behind. It's a fact. There's not no ifs, buts, and maybes. What I'm saying is not fabricated. This is real, actual facts. You understand? So now we got these child supports, and it's so wicked now. Like men could put women on child support. You understand? Men is in their house collecting a bag, while the woman has to pay every month. And like I said, if you don't have that money to pay, that could be the end of you. I'm talking about you ain't gonna be able to have no fun. You will get a paycheck and you would think that you got bills to pay, and that joint will swipe so fast you will have no money. This is the times that we in. And there's females that's really about that time. That's gonna run up and be like, nope, I'm gonna make sure you suffer. Nope, I'm getting all my money. I don't want to hear you don't have no money this month. I don't want to hear you don't have no money this week. I have plans. And a lot of times, some parents don't even use their money for their child. They use their money for their own personal use. You understand? So I'm getting me a bag from every month, supposedly to take care of my child. I'm buying my child $40 pair of sneakers, but at the same time, I'm wearing Balenciagas. You understand? Think about that. Think about it. These are the puzzles that brothers and sisters don't see. You know what I'm saying? Don't see that. And the single parents, and I have to touch on this because single parent is one of the number one tools that's used within our community that's also destroying our community right now as we speak. A lot of children is being raised with single parents, sometimes not even with a parent at all. You understand? A lot of parents is literally having to take care of their child by themselves, and this child next parental figure is what they see on TV, which falls into the next segment: television. Like my homegirl just posted, television is very, very, so it's one of the biggest tool mechanisms ever used on people, period. But it's not what the TV brings, it's what's on the TV shows when it's pertaining to us. Think about that. When you watch these TV shows, and these TV shows is always us selling drugs, our woman was a stripper, our mother's a single, it's a broken household, the dad was a drug abuser, alcoholic, etc. It's the same script over and over and over and over again. And I'm just talking about those things that just be interesting for us, like the things that we watch that give us interest, the things that we give interest to. It be that type of energy. Now just imagine somebody that's watching that every day. every day he or she is watching that, what you think subconsciously is doing to that child's brain, to his mind, to her soul? We start to think that that is normal, and they use that. They use that to show sisters that, yo, men is trifling, they dirtbag, they gonna do X, Y, and Z, so you don't need to be that. In fact, you can be the same way that they are. Don't settle. Don't settle for less. Be great. If you don't like it, you slept with him and it was trash, just go about your business. What you gonna tell the Most High on that day? You gonna say, well, TV told me. He's not trying to hear that. He's not trying to hear that. The scripture says when you was doing wrong, he winked at your ignorance. When you reach a certain age, a certain understanding, like certain things that you do, you're going to be held accountable for, period. Even myself. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I just pray that the Father have mercy on my soul. You know what I'm saying? And see the good and understand that, you know what I'm saying? I'm a troubling soul trying to get right like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Humility is the number one thing to get into this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Confess your faults, confess your sins. You understand? So, we taking that, then, you know, we got the drugs that's all through the community right now. A lot of people don't understand, like, the number one argument that I hear about drugs all the time is the fact that, yo, if it was bad, then why would God put it on the earth? The question that you gotta ask is, who told you that lighting it on some fire was what it needed to have for you to get into the state of hallucination? Who told you that? Because that's sorcery, bro. That's not of the Most High. The Most High is not, he doesn't like sorcery. He says kill. If you see a witch or anybody, and I'm talking about the Old Testament, a witch must be killed amongst you. There's a witch within the tribes, and the Most High knows about that. Yo, you gotta offer her head. A witch and a warlock, or a wizard, whatever you want to call them, they all fall in the same line, same bracket. You understand? So you gotta ask yourself, where does this come from? Who created this? Who created this substance that made us believe that getting high is something that the Most High ordained to do? That's absolutely false. That's absolutely false. Why would the Most High tell you to smoke weed and not smoke lettuce? Smoke a lettuce, chop it up, you know what I'm saying? Get some green peas, get some leaves that's outside, regular leaves, chop it up, break it down, smoke it. Why you can't do that? Why? Because it wasn't him that put it there. It wasn't him. You got to understand when puzzles are put into place to keep us confused. Now, when you get high, ask yourself this question. When you are in the state of high, are you in any way, shape, or form connected to the Most High? Do you even think of the Most High? He's not talking to you. You're not talking to him. Tell me one person that got high and started praying and talking about, yo, man, I got to get the Holy Spirit in me. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because your temple has been taken over. Once your temple is compromised, it's for all gain. You know what I'm saying? And when it's for all gain, who else is going to take it? It's going to be an adversary. Now, the question that you got to ask is, why is the access to drugs at an all-time high, alcohol all-time high, but yet there's no jobs? And a lot of these jobs require what? You got to take a drug test. So basically, if you want to be part of the bag, you can't touch the grass. Now it's now with 2021. You know what I'm saying? It's coming around. A lot of jobs and a lot of bills and laws is being put into place where you can't be tested for marijuana. But 5-10 years ago, that was never the case. You understand? Because they knew that if you was under that influence, you are not an independent individual. You become dependent, and with your dependency, you intend to do things lackluster. You understand? So it's part of the puzzle, people. When you under the influence, it's hard for you to wake up to go to work on time. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to get the job done. You're tired, you exhausted, you angry, you cranky, you frustrated. All of these things happen like this. They can see that. We can't control that. You are a ticking time bomb. So what they do is they got to implement that. You must be drug free. Because if you're not drug free, I can't control you, or you're unstable, because your vessel becomes open for demons. The state of a hallucination is just when your temple gets open and the spirit comes in. After the spirit is doing what it's doing with you, this is where you get the munchies. You're hungry, that's a demon. You're tired, that's a demon. You want to fornicate, that's a demon. You know what I'm saying? These are spirits, bro. You know what I'm saying? And these people know that. This is why they put drugs within our communities. Prime example. This is part of the puzzle. You understand? Which falls into the jobs. The jobs. Due to the lack of the work, when we have the opportunity to work, we devote our time and effort to the job, because we want to be able to be self-sustained and also be able to provide for those that surround you, whether it's your children, whether it's your family, your cousin, your auntie, your nieces, your nephews. You got to be the provider, especially if you're the breadwinner. So with these type of jobs also comes requirements, like things like overtime. There's going to be times you got to work overtime. When I was working with ACS, there was times I had to be overtime. There was times that I had to stay at work until 8, 9, 10 o'clock. You understand? Had to go to meetings. Had to sit down. You know what I'm saying? Be with the client. Be with whoever. The director. Speak. Get it situated and go about my day. But these things is real. You understand? And why I say jobs, because while you devoting your time into your job, nobody has the time. You don't have the time. You don't have the time to raise your child. And I'm talking about those that have children, and some that don't. A lot of people that don't have children, a lot of them don't have children because of the lack of time. They be like, yo, I'm not gonna have no time to be staying home taking care of a baby. Where do I even start by doing that? So a lot of times, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, have to leave their children home alone, have to forget about wanting to have children because their job is just too important. And the jobs, with the pay that they're giving us, and the price of living, and I'm just talking about here in New York. I don't know about other states or whatever, but here in New York, a studio could run you anywhere from $1,600 to $1,700. A studio. Now just imagine somebody that's need a 3-bedroom, and if you want to pay a cheap place, if you want a cheap place to live, you know you're gonna have to be in the hood. You know you're gonna have to be in the gutter. You is not getting a great apartment for that cheap without consequences. You're going to live right up next door to the projects, a burnt down house, you know what I'm saying, a drug-infested community, crime rate high, sex trafficking, everything at an all-time high, in order to get a place to live with the average pay that us as people receive. You understand? This is part of the puzzle. This is part of the puzzle. So the price of living is way too high. The way that we getting paid is you have to do overtime. You know, when it's about to be the end of the month, I gotta do extra work. I gotta put in extra hours so I can get a little bit, just an extra $300, so I can pay this light bill, my phone bill, my car insurance, and pay this rent or mortgage or whatever you want to call it. But meanwhile, while you doing all of this, nobody is protecting your child. Your child is glued to the TV. Not only is the child glued to the TV, that child is in school for 8 hours a day being reprogrammed. And you don't even have time to configure the things that child was being taught in school because you probably at work. By the time you come home, that child is sleeping. By the time you go to sleep, that child is up ready to go to school.
or y'all both up at the same time, but there's not enough time to have communication, conversation, because you got to go to work, the child got to go to school. So when all of these things take place, what you think is going to happen? It's going to lead to a state of confusion. I was a state of confusion. I remember me getting all this information. I'm coming to my mom's like, Mom, listen, I don't think there's such thing as a God. She said, what? How dare you? Where you getting this from? Boom, 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 boom. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm like, yo, listen, this is what science is teaching me. This is X, Y, Z, boom, 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 boom. But my mom didn't understand because, like I said, my mom had to work. You know, my mom was working. You know what I'm saying? From a very young age, I know my mom was doing one thing: work, sleep. She came home, she was too tired to do anything. You know what I'm saying? It got to the point where our meals and everything was from outside, which leads to another one, which leads to another piece of the pie, piece of the puzzle, is now we're not even eating right. Mommy's not around to cook for us. You know what I'm saying? We young. Mommy's only able to give us $10, $20. She's like, yo, here's $10. Make it work for both of y'all. So imagine me and somebody else. That's two people surviving off $10. What you think $10 could buy you in the hood? A plate of Chinese food. Chicken fried rice, $4.50. 50 cents buy you a can of soda. Now imagine doing that every day. And at that time, we didn't even know the information that we know now with the stuff that's inside of the MSG that's in the Chinese food. We didn't know about these things, so we had subconsciously just eating it because we was hungry. Mama couldn't cook; she was too tired, and it was cheap and convenient. So that's exactly what we did. You understand? And when you pay attention and when you look at it, we over here suffering the consequences now because of it. You understand? Us not eating accordingly get you sick. I just seen a post where it said that they had something called I forgot the name. It's basically it's a repellent that they put inside small doses inside of the Cheerio cereal, bro, that can affect your lungs, that could advance your aging, that could affect your kidneys, your immune system. All of these things can be affected. So imagine us eating Cheerios, because when we see on TV the commercials with the person with a big bowl of Cheerios, you see the bee flying around giving us little jokes here and there. You thinking that it means us well. There's no harm in it. It's good food that they will feed the children. We don't think that these people is really gonna be out here trying to hurt us. But when you look at it, that's exactly what these people are doing. It's exactly what these people are doing. They feeding us the garbage. We're eating the garbage. We're consuming all of this bacteria, all of these chemicals, all of these lab-made products that's running around here all through our bloodstream. And it's to the mercy and the grace of God is the reason why we're not even dead right now. But a lot of us is suffering the consequences right now as we speak. How many brothers and sisters you know at a young age died from cancer, not even 50 years old? Full-fledged cancer. Look at Screech from Saved by the Bell, 44 years old, full-fledged cancer. You know what I'm saying? We got people that's not even in their 30s yet. I had a friend that I went to school with. He died from cancer. He was not even 21. This is a fact, bro. This is all part of the puzzle. But if you don't see that and you don't understand it, it's gonna be for our demise, because at the end of it all, it's always been about our demise. You understand? Psalms 83. You should read that. Psalms chapter 83, verse 1 all the way down to 12. Read it. You're gonna get the information and you're gonna understand what I'm saying. So of course, eating bad food, which leads us to what? The medical field. From the minute you were born, brothers and sisters, you are supposed to take a K2 shot. Don't know where this was implemented. Don't know where in the Bible this come from. But they implement that. They suggest that you allow your child to take that. If you don't take it, you can have an ACS case put upon you. ACS can come and can open up a case upon you because they saying it's child neglect. But when you look up what the things that's in the K2, these are a lot of things. These are a lot of stuff within the these vaccines that's causing these autisms. They got pig residue in these joints, human DNA inside these joints, metal inside these joints, and they shooting a newborn baby that hasn't even been on this earth for 30 minutes, and they're already shooting. They shoot it under the child's foot. You understand? So now this child got this shot under his foot. The child still got to go through the motions and getting vaccinated every 6 months until they like, 19, 21? You know what I'm saying? They got to get shot after shot after shot to get these shots. Then you add the fact that we eating bad already. I told my son today, I said to my son, you don't understand what struggle is. You come from the generation of spoilness. You do not know what the struggle is. You don't know how it feels that your mother gave you $2 or sometimes even just $1 for you to break with your brother. I told him a story. I said, listen, I remember after school having $1 to my name, having to buy 2 honey buns, because at that time honey bun was only 25 cents. Buying 2 honey buns. 2 honey buns and some quarter juice or quarter water, and that was my meal. That was my lunch or meal for the whole day. That's just what it was. You understand? And we had to eat that. It is what it is. Sometimes when we got home, mom was too tired to cook. She couldn't even cook. So you know what we had to do? We had to eat bowl of cereal, peanut butter and jelly. That was our dinner. And he looked at me like, wow, that's crazy. Like, that's not crazy. This called real. This is called literally living in a struggle times. This was real. And he don't know that. And you know what I'm saying? I pray that he never has to experience that, even though I know biblically one day we're going to have to revert back to these times where we literally going to have to survive off 1 meal a day, a loaf of bread, some water, an apple. But the food that they put is very, 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 very important to know about, because that's one of the tools. This is one of the puzzles that they put in front of us. If you pay attention and you see the community where these fast food companies, they all in less than a 5-mile radius. And I'm talking about in the hood. When you go into these so-called Caucasian locations, these individuals, their fast foods is far away from their house. You gotta travel, be on a highway going somewhere in order to get to those type of fast foods. But for us, listen, I could go up the block, I could go around the corner. We got the corner stores that's selling us bad food. You know what I'm saying? The chips, the high fructose corn syrup in the juices. You know what I'm saying? These are all of the things that is part of the puzzle that's for our demise. Now you ask yourself this question. You over here drinking this joint. You over here drinking it and eating it. What you think is happening to your body long term? And who you think is waiting for you in the ER room? Exactly. You're worth more being sick than healthy. So don't ever think you could do 1,000,000 push-ups, 1,000 workouts. If you're not eating clean, alkaline, organic type food, all that workout, you're just making your body work harder, and you're gonna die quicker. That's just a fact. You understand? Even with myself, with all this workout that I do, I gotta be very mindful of the food that I intake, the things that I drink. Like I'll see it, and even subconsciously I'll be like, yo, I gotta taste this. You know what I'm saying? Like This is where we at with it. But it's destroying us. It's destroying us. And then when your immune system is weak, especially with today's times, they said the common cold can be labeled as COVID. So they taking common cold out the picture now. You come into the hospital coughing, sneezing, runny nose, any one of those things, you got COVID. Facts. You got COVID. They took away common cold. There's no more of that for y'all. It's COVID. But if your immune system is weak and we out here in a polluted community, our neighborhoods is polluted. The air is bad. The things that we breathe is bad. The sunlight, the sun is being blocked. They playing with the weather. Come on. Like we just had a blizzard. And then yesterday it was 48, 50 degrees, y'all. Make it make sense. We got to see these things, brothers and sisters. We got to see these things, man. And one of our biggest problems too is our pride. Our pride is so high, we refuse to let go of that. Our pride is one of our biggest downfalls. And who told us to have pride? Think about that. Satan was a prideful man. That's why he was cast out. He was prideful. His pride overclouded his judgment, and he said things and did things he wasn't supposed to do. And in return, he got kicked out. He got kicked out. And when you get kicked out of a beautiful place, you end up having envious in your heart. You have envy in your heart for whoever was the cause of you getting kicked out. And guess what? When you God's children, he know he can't wrath with the Father. So he's going to put his wrath upon you. You understand? His wrath and his judgment is going to be upon you. You're going to be the one there just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But what's going on is, son not trying to hear none of that. That's a fact. He's gonna strictly destroy. He's going to destroy. But he's not going to destroy you. He's not going to just blatantly come to your face and say, yo, I'm the devil. I don't like you. I'm going to kill you. He's going to allow you to kill yourself. But he's going to give you them tools to kill yourself. He's going to make you feel mightier than man. He's going to make you feel better than God. Like, yo, I'm this, I'm that. I'm the man. Boom, 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 boom. I can have any woman that I want. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to touch me? Who's going to do X, Y, and Z? And then before you know it, you having a meeting with your maker. You know what I'm saying? That pride, and the pride is one of our biggest downfalls. We don't want to be corrected for nothing. If I say something, if I say, yo, listen, X, Y, and Z, and you give me a proper correction, or you ask a question that I don't want to answer, my pride makes me perceive like you are beneath me. You are a dove. I don't have to answer to you. Who are you? You understand? And the famous word that goes on within the quote unquote, colored community is only God could judge me. Show me in the scriptures where it says only God could judge me. Because the scripture says a righteous man seeks righteous counsel. If I'm doing something wrong, I expect my brothers and sisters to let me know and to explain to me what wrong am I doing. That's a fact. So the pride. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I touched on the medical. I touched on the food. All of these things is tools that's designed to keep us destroyed, to keep us stagnant, to keep us unproductive, to keep us hating, to keep us, you know what I'm saying, in complete confusion. And a lot of brothers and sisters don't understand is now that the world is in the palm of their hands and they got it to where they need it to be, we are disposable, y'all. America is, look what's going on. When you hear America, you don't just hear the situations of America. You hear how China is involved. You hear how Russia is involved. You hear all of these other nations is involved with American politics, American business. That's all you hearing. You understand? It's because America been sold, man. the whole eastern coast is run by the Chinese, and the whole west coast is by the Russians, man. Do your studies, man. America's a corporation, y'all. And the workers is no longer needed. And that workers is you, brothers and sisters. The time is now. We are in the times where we got to get it together. We got to get it together subconsciously. We got to get it together mentally. We got to get it together physically. We got to start loving each other. There was a post that said, we always quick to do a challenge. But let's have a challenge and see if let's have a challenge and work together. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, in order for us to work and to move forward, we have to all be under one accord, with one understanding. I cannot work with an atheist. I cannot work with somebody that's claiming to be a Buddhist or a Muslim. I don't care if he's the same color as my skin, because when the time comes, we're gonna conflict. You can't. A righteous man can't go into business with a murderer. It just doesn't work. It's not going to work. It's just not. I'm sorry. You understand? So we can't be running around here thinking that we all gonna be united. Listen. I'm gonna keep it 100. We ain't gonna be united. No time soon. Why? Because a lot of us have too much pride and too much fabricated beliefs. And a lot of y'all has denounced God altogether, has denounced Christ. You cannot be a God-fearing man and you believe in Christ and you believe in God and you don't read the Bible. It doesn't work that way. You cannot believe in God and believe in the Bible and believe in Christ and you're not following the ways of the Most High. You're not reading these scriptures. You're not doing none of these things. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. And that's part of the puzzle. Satan's main job is to confuse. As long as I keep the people confused, you're like a chicken without a head. You're going to run all over the place. And eventually, you're going to run and get hit by a car. And then that's it. You understand? So that's just something that, I want brothers and sisters to think about, is the puzzles, man. These are the puzzles. These are the tools that's used to keep us confused. You understand? But it's time for us to understand what's going on. Who's the enemy? To my brothers and sisters, you guys are not my enemies. You wasn't my enemy then. You're not my enemy now. I'm here for you, and I want you to be there for me. You are not my enemy. I didn't make you this way. They didn't make me this. You didn't make me this way. The adversary did. The manipulations of the television. The separation of the fathers. The separation of fathers, parents, not being in a household. These are the things that took place that divided us, y'all. And we're just the aftermath of the ruckus. But with every bad day, it's a good time. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be in pursuit of that. And the only way to pursue that is through Christ, man. You know what I'm saying? And understand that he did walk the earth. I got a book that I'm about to order. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you the name. One of these days when it comes, I'll put it up on the live and you guys will see it. You understand? So it's gonna be proof and let y'all know that Christ really did walk this earth. He really was here. Which means he's really coming back. So brothers and sisters, you guys gotta pick a side, man. You gotta pick a side. I gotta pick a side. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pick a side. There's a lot of things that me myself as an individual that I went through that I gotta overcome. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still overcoming. But the first thing to correction is admitting that you gotta correct this. You gotta correct yourself. It's the first line of correction. It's to admit there's a problem. It's to admit your faults. You understand? But that's neither here nor there, brothers and sisters. Yeah, you see, we got the Repent or Die hat on and the t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? I told you I'm gonna start putting on my brand 24 hours, 7 days a week, man. You know what I'm saying? I might have to holler at the dudes in Africa, see what's up with the jewelry, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a whole Repent or Die chain, you know what I'm saying? So we working, man. But this was one of those episodes that, you know, I wanted to educate my people, man. Educate my people, educate my sisters, educate my brothers. Understand that everything that you see going on here is a puzzle. It's chess, not checkers. Monopoly. All of these games that we grew up playing and never understood it, but yet couldn't figure out how to add it to our reality and benefit off it, because it wasn't for you to benefit. It was for you to get a glimpse of what they created and why things is the way it is right now. Basically allowing you to be in their shoes. So that's neither here nor there. You understand? So brothers and sisters, please, you know, please like, comment, subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying? Share this work. You know what I'm saying? This word needs to get out to the four corners of the earth. Share it, because the faster it gets spreaded, the faster all of this gets, you know what I'm saying? It gets resolved, and we need resolvement. And I'm just speaking for us in the community. We need resolvement, and I'm gonna end it with this. This is for people that says, I love you. The word love is not just a word. It's an action. It's a verb. When I verbally say that, I must act upon what I say. And whether what situation you are dealing with a person, when you love that person, you don't let that love go away because of a difference in approach and a difference of understanding on an agreement. We are all put on this earth to agree to disagree. That's just what it is. And yes, we must all compromise. But if the compromisation doesn't make sense, or that person doesn't see what you're seeing, that doesn't mean the person don't understand you. He or she just don't understand your logic behind certain things, because we are all from different crosses of this earth. We are all raised different. We all handle this game, this puzzle different than others. But you gotta always be able to make it make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then there's no reason for a person, to anybody, to entertain it or want to hear it or want to deal with it. If it doesn't make sense, you have to make it make sense. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, I want brothers and sisters just to meditate on that. You know what I'm saying? Love is the key to open all doors. If there's no love, there's no unity, there's no trust, there's no foundation, there's no goddamn relation. That's it. There's no relationship. So I hope brothers and sisters think about that, meditate on that, and build on that. And remember, this is chess that's being played, not checkers. This is a puzzle that's being orchestrated, not laying bricks. We're not laying bricks. These are strategic puzzles that's being put into place for our demise. So know who your enemy is. Know who your family are. Let's get together. Let's rise. Let's seek this kingdom. This is your boy Jones, coming to you guys with that Repent or Die podcast. in another episode of Sabbath Talk. Remember, you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, y'all. You want to be set free? Follow the truth. With that being said, I'm going to holler at you. One.